Have you ever looked at a massive skyscraper and just wondered, how? How does every single pipe, every wire, every bolt end up in exactly the right place? Well, the secret isn't just about big cranes and tons of concrete. A huge part of it comes down to one single, incredibly powerful document. It's the project's daily heartbeat. And today, we're going to take a look inside.
I mean, think about it. A modern mega project, it's like a billion-dollar puzzle with thousands of pieces all moving at the same time. You've got armies of workers, machinery everywhere, different teams doing different things. It's basically controlled chaos. So how on earth do you conduct that orchestra and make sure every single note is hit perfectly? Well, the answer lies in creating a system that keeps everything out in the open. Because in the world of these huge projects, the stakes are incredibly high. A single mistake, one tiny miscalculation, it can set off a chain reaction that costs millions and, more importantly, puts people's safety on the line. So yeah, taming that chaos is everything.
And here are the pressure points, right? You're juggling these massive budgets, and you're doing it on schedules that are razor thin. You're not just telling teams what to do. You're coordinating this complex dance between civil engineers, electricians, plumbers, that's what we call MEP, for mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, and all of this has to happen while meeting strict safety and quality standards. It really demands a central nervous system to keep it all together.
And that nervous system, that's the daily progress report. You can think of it as the project's daily health check. It's the one place everyone can look to find the truth in a sea of complexity. The DPR is, for all intents and purposes, a doctor's chart for the building. Every single day, it tracks the project's vital signs. What do we get done today? Was it done right? And what problems are popping up? It's the one thing that tells a project manager if the job is healthy or if it's heading for a major headache.
So what's actually inside this all-important document? Let's pop the hood and really dissect it piece by piece.
A really solid DPR is built on 4 main pillars. First, you've got the overview, which is just a quick snapshot of the day. Second, there's the inspection section. This is the quality gate. Third, you have progress, which acts as a performance meter. And finally, you've got challenges, which is like the project's early warning risk radar. Let's kick things off with the big picture, the overview. The overview is basically the executive summary. It's designed to give you the vital stats at a glance, the date, what the weather was like, how many people were on site, and just a high-level summary of what happened. It's the first page anyone reads to get the pulse of the day. And one of the key numbers you'll always find here is the daily progress percentage. Now this looks a little technical, but it's actually super straightforward. You just take the amount of work you finished today, let's say you installed 100 meters of pipe, and you divide it by the total amount you need to install, maybe that's 1,000 meters, boom, that's 10% progress for that one task on that one day. It shows you right away if you're on track. All right, next up is the quality gate. And honestly, you could argue this is the most important part of the whole report. This is where the work that was just done gets double and triple checked against the official plans and international standards. This isn't just about making things look nice. It's about making sure the building will be safe and will work perfectly for decades. And just look at the level of detail we're talking about here. Every single part has a specific code it has to meet. You've got the Saudi Building Code, or SBC, for things like plumbing. The NFPA codes are all about fire safety and sprinklers. ASHRAE codes handle things like ventilation and making sure the building is energy efficient. These aren't suggestions, they are non-negotiable rules. And watching over this entire quality process is ISO 9001, which is the gold standard for quality management systems itself. Okay, let's make this super real. For something like a plumbing system, you can't just cross your fingers and hope the pipes don't leak. You have to test them. A pressure test is where you fill the pipes up to a certain pressure. We'll call that P1. Wait a couple of hours and then measure the pressure again. That's P2. The difference between them, or delta P, tells you if you have a leak. And the rule is clear. If the pressure drops by less than 2 psi over 2 hours, congratulations, you've passed. It's simple math that proves the quality of the work. So, the work is top-notch quality. Fantastic. But are you getting it done efficiently? That's what the work progress section is all about. It tracks what you actually accomplished versus the resources, like time and people, that you used to do it. And this is where we get into the nitty-gritty of things like man-hours. This simple formula helps managers see just how productive their crews are. In this example, if a team of 5 people works an 8-hour day and installs 50 meters of ductwork, you can calculate their productivity at 1.25 meters per hour per worker. But here's the thing. This section is also where that fourth pillar, the risk radar, comes into play. The report also lists any challenges, maybe materials were late or a piece of equipment broke down. It provides the crucial why behind the numbers.
Okay, so you have all of this data, quality checks, progress numbers, a list of problems. How does all of that raw information actually help steer a billion-dollar project? Well, let's look at a real-world example of this data in action.
Here, we're looking at an HVAC and plumbing job for the Royal Commission dormitory. The key activity for the day was that pressure test we just talked about, this time for chilled water pipes, a super important milestone, and you can see all the specific codes that this one activity had to meet.
So, when you take all those daily reports from this project and you stack them up over time, you get this beautiful, high-level view. We can see instantly that the project is 85% complete. This one simple chart is the result of collecting and calculating hundreds of little data points day after day. It gives every manager and stakeholder an instant, data-backed picture of where things stand.
And here it is, the specific result from that day's report. The pressure test passed. It held 10 bars of pressure for 2 hours straight, and the leak test got a big green check mark. See, this isn't just a tick in a box. It is documented proof that the work was done right, which gives everyone the confidence to move on to the next phase of construction.
Now, this careful, meticulous process has been the backbone of construction for a long time. But, as you can probably guess, technology is now giving it a massive upgrade. Let's take a peek at how automation is changing the game for project reporting.
So instead of filling out paperwork by hand, the future is all about an automated workflow. We're talking about cutting reporting time by more than half. Site engineers can just punch in the raw data on a tablet or a shared sheet. Then automated scripts do all the heavy lifting, running the calculations, compiling the info. The system then automatically spits out the final report, complete with 3D snapshots from design software like Revit, and it can even feed data directly to dashboards and tools like Power BI. This frees up engineers to actually solve problems instead of just filling out forms.
And that's really the big takeaway here. All of these modern marvels we see, the skyscrapers, the bridges, the stadiums, they don't just stand on concrete and steel. They're built on a foundation of meticulous, carefully managed data, gathered one day at a time. That's how you turn chaos into certainty.
Which, of course, leads to one final, pretty cool thought. We're moving from just automating the reports to making them truly intelligent. With sensors and the Internet of Things being built right into structures from day one, what happens when the building itself starts collecting the data and writing its own daily health check? Now that is the future we're building.